Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to talk about how cryptocurrencies are doing after the recent drop. If you look at the past 7 days, it's not been pretty. We've definitely been falling non-stop here. And as you can see, some cryptos are recovering a bit. We are bouncing on some cryptocurrencies, not everywhere. And for now, the bounce is pretty minor. I'll talk about it more once we get to the technical analysis side of things. And one of the things that I wanted to mention in this video is how soon can we expect any kind of significant bounce? Now, it really depends on how you look at things, but we could definitely see a short-term bounce, maybe back to the uptrend line. You know, we'll probably get some attempts of a bounce, but I feel like we're going to be pretty quickly heading back towards this 5,900 support level, which corresponds to the low of this candlestick right here. And like I've been saying, we're probably in for even more downside motion closer to $5,000 or even $4,000. So we may get some bounces throughout that, and we could definitely make an attempt higher, but until we see any kind of true bullish signal trigger, which would be either a break of the downtrend line or maybe getting back above $9,000 or $10,000, I wouldn't count on anything because it's just not a true bullish signal at that point, right? And for now, the only thing that we have gotten was a bearish signal after breaking below our uptrend line on the Bitcoin chart and on a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there. So that's been fully confirmed, and Bitcoin has been moving lower from that. So definitely continuing in that range of motion. So like I said, general market not looking too bad today. Slight bounce, slight stabilization. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. Link to that in the description of this video. And don't forget to check out my premium content for monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities. Also have a link to that in the description of this video. So going back to the Bitcoin chart, like I said, could get a little bit of a bounce attempt here. We'll have to see how things play out, but there is a lot of resistance still, right? We have the middle band that's moving lower now. What's causing the bounce here is, well, we did get a pretty severe drop for one, so it's normal that we're bouncing a little bit. And our RSI is actually getting a really nice bounce off that 30 line, which is a good sign. But like I said, considering that we just triggered a very bearish signal, we can't really be too hopeful on that, and we can't expect Bitcoin to start climbing back up right away, right? That's pretty unrealistic. And at best here, which would be already a very great scenario, would be getting back above the uptrend line and re-entering into our symmetrical triangle formation. That would actually allow us to get a better opportunity at breaking out of the downtrend and then moving higher. But we can't speak on that too soon until we start to see that actually happen and pan out. Let's take a look at Ethereum next. So Ethereum is bouncing slightly. It's trying to get back towards that $420 mark. As for the indicators, still looking pretty bearish. We did get a nice little bounce on the RSI though, but true bullish signal will be getting back above the 30 line there. And we'll see. I think that definitely a possibility that we get back above $420, maybe make our way back to $450. Once again, breaking out of this red downtrend line would be our first bullish signal. And I'm also going to go ahead and put in a short-term downtrend line over here, this blue line, which will give us a short-term indication of if we're going to be able to stabilize a bit more or if we're going to continue falling lower. So keep an eye on this blue downtrend line. That's going to tell us if we're going to be moving higher and maybe stabilize in the short term. That's the key word there. I just wanted to point out nice buying volume on the reversal candlestick. So it is what it is. Like I said, can't really count any kind of bullish signal until we break out of this red downtrend line over here. Bollinger Bands, middle band still moving pretty severely towards the downside. Let's take a look at Litecoin next, see what's happening. So Litecoin is looking pretty similar to Ethereum actually. We do have a little bit more of a bullish signal on the RSI. We're back above the 30 line already. We'll have to make sure that holds though, but it is a good sign nonetheless. If we continue to move in this direction, we're probably going to break back above this short-term blue downtrend line, which is good. That'll probably mean that we could maybe see an attempt of $145 or maybe re-go and test the downtrend line over here. It looks like over the next week or so, we're probably going to be trading between 100 and our downtrend line over here, which, you know, could lead for a bit of consolidation, which is better than, you know, just crashing lower. And Litecoin has been in a bit of a better situation than Bitcoin and Ethereum. It actually has, of course, a lot of support at $100, and it's got its major long-term support level a little bit below that, closer to $85, $90. So those are two potential bounce areas. A break below those things would be extremely bearish, but it does allow for, you know, an opportunity for Litecoin to not fall much lower. We'll just have to see how things work over the next week or so, but definitely Litecoin should be able to stabilize a bit here unless the rest of the market goes tanking lower again. For Nano, we did manage to bounce quite a bit, and I'm going to go ahead and extend our downtrend line over here. So we are definitely still downtrending, no doubt about that, and we actually have put in a bit of a more severe downtrend actually, so I'll go ahead and put that in as well. That's this secondary downtrend line over here. We managed to balance at around 70,000 Satoshis, which is good. With that being said, though, until we break out of this this downtrend line right over here, our main downtrend line, I'd say that we're probably going to be pushing closer to 60, maybe even 50,000 Satoshis until we're able to break out of the downtrend line and then really, get that bullish signal to stabilize at least. Now, let's go over Ripple next and see what's going on with Ripple. I'm going to go over to the Bittrex chart here. It looks like Bittrex has found support at $50. We actually got two very nice flat candlesticks over here. A bit of a doji actually on the previous candlestick, getting confirmed by the current one. Indicator trying to get back up, right? RSI trying to get back above that 30 line. And we'll see. We might make a jump towards 65 cents. I'm not expecting us to get back above that yet, so probably going to see some consolidation between 50 cents and 65 cents. And it would be absolutely amazing if we're able to remain in this range right here, not drop below 50 cents, right? That would be ideal. That's what we want to avoid, because if we do drop below 50 cents, then we're likely going to be heading closer to 30 cents. For now, though, it seems like 50 cents is actually acting as pretty strong support. Hopefully that continues. I think it has a good chance of doing so over the next few days at least. And after that, we'll just have to wait and see how the market is acting. Now, let's go over to NEO next and see what's going on with NEO. Let's take a look. So NEO is still downtrending lower along its downtrend line. Indicators pretty flat. RSI trying to come back up, but not giving us any major indications. The lower Bollinger Band is actually pushing lower now. So I feel like we're very likely going to get an attempt of $43 again. It looks like a lot of cryptos are stabilizing, however, right now. So we might not drop below that for the time being. But a drop below $43 would probably push us closer to $30 or even that support level at $20. So do be aware of that. And for now, we're still okay between $43 and, of course, our resistance is up to $75. Probably not going to go back up there just yet. I think that at best here, we're probably going to consolidate somewhere between $43 and $60 over the next week. Let's take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Stellar Lumens, and we're going to see what it's been up to. So Stellar actually managed to avoid a massive drop. We got a very short-term drop, but already recovered from that. We're just consolidating again between 2,500 and 3,000 Satoshis. Bollinger Band's contracting towards the price. Indicators still holding up very nicely. Actually got a slight uptrend going on here. So it's a good sign. Once again, you can't expect too much with how the market is acting, but if we're able to continue in this consolidation, I'd say that's a pretty good scenario considering what most cryptocurrencies have been through and are still, kind of going through. So let's take a look at Vertcoin next, see what's going on with Vertcoin. It looks like Vertcoin is coming up on its $1.54 support level. Didn't actually end up, dropping below that and holding below that, which is good. And we actually have a nice little bullish indicator on the RSI. We made a lower low, which is a very good sign, with a nice bounce on that 30 line on the RSI. Once again, we have to make sure that holds, but if it does, that is a good sign. As for the MACD and histogram, we still want to see those recover a bit more. We're in this very tight triangle formation where within the next few days, we're going to see either a break above the downtrend line, which will mean that we're probably in for some consolidation between $1.54 and maybe $2.20, $2.30. But we could also move to the downside, which would be a break below $1.54, which would, push us back closer to $1 at least. And we're going to get, the indication for what's going to happen very soon here. As you can see, we're really coming up towards the end of the formation. So let's take a look at Liske next and see what it's been through here over the past few days. It looks like Liske definitely experienced a pretty harsh drop. I'm going to go ahead and put in our short-term downtrend line over here. And that's this blue line. We're going to see if we can get back above that. That will mean that we're probably going to be able to stabilize a bit better. As for the indicators, definitely took a pretty hard hit there, and it's going to take some time for those to recover. No bullish signals for now. We didn't actually end up going all the way down to $6.24. Definitely could still happen, especially if we're not able to get back above the downtrend line. I would just say, for the time being, some consolidation between $6.24 and $10 is quite likely. and I feel like we're going to stabilize a lot towards $8, which is where our previous consolidation was at back here. So that's what I see happening for Liske. We're going to go over to Cardano next and see what Cardano has been up to. Kind of like Stellar Lumens, it's actually been acting a bit stronger than other cryptocurrencies out there. That is in part due to the fact that it experienced a pretty massive drop before a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, so it now has a little bit more strength already built in. As for indicators, we've got a slight uptrend going on the MACD, histogram holding up well, same thing with the RSI. We're back above that 2,000 Satoshi level, might even make a little bit of a move towards 2,500. For the time being, though, I think we're probably going to consolidate, probably right above this 2,000 Satoshi level. And once again, it's not the best thing, right? It's not like we're going sky high, but at least it's better than dropping or being in a weak situation. For now, it looks still pretty stable in this area with some good buying volume. So I think that'll probably continue a little bit longer. And let's go ahead and take a look at IOTA next, see what's going on. So IOTA is trying to get back above $1.13. That will be a very good sign because that was a pretty important support level. We actually did drop slightly below that. And our Bollinger Bands are holding up pretty well. Slight downtrend on the lower Bollinger Band. Looks like the MACD and histogram could get a bounce here. We also broke out of our short-term downtrend line on the RSI, or we're just about to, so we'll see how that pans out over the next few days, but definitely have a good opportunity at doing that. And I think that basically we have a fair chance here at getting back above $1.13, and from there, right, we can expect some consolidation. What we were doing previously, which was consolidation between $1.13 and $1.47. With that being said, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.